What's poppin', people? This episode of Say Less is brought to you by Mountain Dew. Last year, Mountain Dew launched the Mountain Dew Real Change Opportunity Fund, a commitment from the brand to make tangible investments in black entrepreneurs. In year 2 of the Real Change Initiative, Mountain Dew is partnering with the HBCU Esports League to put a spotlight on HBCU student gamers and fuel their drive into the competitive field of esports by launching the Mountain Dew Real Change Challenge. With the focus on increasing black representation in esports and gaming, the Mountain Dew Real Change Challenge will support HBCU student gamers by sponsoring a nationwide HBCU esports tournament. Contestants will compete for an overall prize pool of $500,000, coaching and exposure to esports professionals, and a gaming contract with Mountain Dew for up to 1 year. Gaming fans can tune in to twitch.tv/CXMMUNITY November 9th and November 16th to see who advances to the regionals.
Because I feel like this is going to be controversial. I feel like this is going to be the wild card.
Okay.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
I bet you won't do it.
Why can't I remember the name of it, though? But
Who's the artist?
Jaden Smith.
Oh, the one with the letters?
Wow.
It's like Sire.
Sire. The first
icon on it?
That album
The
was
first-
fire.
Icon.
Yeah.
And every album, title was like a letter. This was fire.
I told you
Yeah.
this
That was
was
a
going to
fire
be
album.
the wild card.
Yeah.
And
I was very shocked at that album.
So, okay.
I like
And I was
that.
like, Jaden.
I do like that. So,
can rap.
from your perspective.
Yeah.
Let's clip this also, Jay.
Yeah, this is going to be one. From your perspective,
Yeah.
why is that Jaden Smith
That was a good
album
album.
a classic, or why is it so
Why is it a
important to
Leo
you?
classic?
Why
Because
is it
he was
important
so
to you?
young but so like I could
Intellectual.
intellectual.
He
I
just
could
know how to, yeah.
Yeah.
He is-
that
he's
was fascinating to me. It was
So you
he's
feel like there's a
also-
parallel to you.
yeah.
What's poppin', people? Welcome back to another episode of Say Less with KAZ
Hey.
and all his checks, Lowkey,
Hola.
and his cargos, and ROSY.
In
Yo,
her
look at my
low-key
fresh,
cosplay.
look at my fresh look at my fresh Air Force Ones, bro.
They are.
Yo, they're is that so? See, I know.
Imagine.
Hold on, that is Stone Cold, right?
Yes, this is
See, I
Stone
ain't that
Cold.
stupid. See, I
These
know
are
something.
my these are my special
and they ain't put
WrestleMania
no
socks.
lotion
I know like
on.
3
I
wrestlers.
sure didn't, yo. I sure did. I'm ashy, boy. I can write my
No,
signature on my leg.
stop.
right
No,
now.
No. Yeah, sorry,
Just
sorry,
put more
sorry.
checks.
Yeah,
Just put more
or just put more lotion. I'm
Kaz, I usually like how you dress, except the tightness of your pants.
Yo, see,
That's
she's
just a
always
lot
on
of
your ass,
checks,
bro.
Listen, just
What's
like
wrong
my
with the
pants.
checks?
Hey, all right,
They're
how
distracting.
do we count? How much? Do we
I
do like
got 250.
250?
That's a lot.
I'm gonna count and figure out how many
I got
checks
250.
But
Or
are there
honest.
some inside the pocket too?
inside.
Why would there be
Like
checks
no, inside the hoodie
pocket?
pocket because
No.
they
Why?
sew the.
No,
Why?
this is such an irrelevant
Okay,
conversation.
alright.
How are we
It really
talking?
is, yeah.
Why are we talking about
Yeah,
this?
like
Anyway,
I want somebody
wow,
to guess.
man, got a great guest coming on the show today as well. He's a good friend of mine, longtime friend of mine. He's also a professional wrestler.
Yes.
Back in my WWE days, we worked very closely together on a lot of things.
Right.
And the man's story is more incredible than any of all that.
Love it.
And this is a place where I think I love when some of my wrestler homies come through and kick it. So he's in town. He's going to come kick it. My guy, Lio Rush, is here today. Come on, Leo. Come hop in real quick. You're going to come
Wrestlers
talk to,
always have the best stories.
to shenanigans. What's going on, family?
Always.
How you living, brother? How you living, brother?
What's up? How are
Always,
you?
We good? We gonna sit right here. Jay, we good?
Yeah.
We good?
on.
All right, perfect. We're just gonna focus in right here. My man, Lio Rush.
What is going on?
What's
What's
happening?
A time to be alive, brother. It's good to have you here, man. Welcome to
Get
Say
yourself
Less.
comfortable.
Man,
Get
it's good to be here. I feel like I'm not supposed to be here.
Is it
I'm
fancy?
feeling good though.
Is it too fancy for you? Is it a little bit?
I've been seeing clips all over the place. It's,
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm here though.
Hey, man, you're supposed to be here. That's right. God damn it.
Yes,
Man,
sir.
so you're in town. I think you're just hanging in New York, you know what I mean? And you're back in the ring, you know what I'm saying? It's been a while. And, you know, I remember we had spoke a lot about, you know, what was kind of going on in your life when you decided, like, you know, I think I'm a fall back for a little while, man. So for folks who may not be up in the know, you know what I'm saying, especially that's been a fan of you for a long time, like, what happened in between the time that you just kind of stepped away from the ring for a minute?
Man, so much has happened. Either what are you talking about, the first time or the second time?
I'm about to say, we can pick a couple times.
No,
you're about to be the Rob Gronkowski of wrestling, where you just.
Man. Well, I mean, that first time,
Yeah.
that first time where I decided to step away.
Mhm.
Actually, I mean, I got hurt twice. So
Yeah.
The first time I got hurt, you know, I felt like I was already in like a 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of situation. You know, I just wasn't feeling it for a while. You know, my body wasn't feeling it. You know, my mind wasn't there. Kids were getting older. I was getting deeper and deeper into my marriage.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just so much going on. And I was trying to figure out, you know, if this is something that I really wanted to continue to do.
Right.
I know I'm young, but I've been an athlete, you know, my entire life.
Yeah.
So
like,
you know,
even though
my
your
body was
wrestling
feeling it.
career.
Look, Kaz, a real
mic a
athlete.
little closer.
Yeah. So I don't know. I felt like I needed to step away and just figure out where my life was going outside of wrestling.
Right,
Because for
right.
so long, you know, my whole life has just been sports, wrestling, and you know, I had so many like personal responsibilities that I needed to take care of, and yeah, I just wasn't feeling it, man. I wasn't feeling it.
And you're wildly young, man. Like for as much life as you lived, and people who's followed you for a long time, followed your story, like you've had to have these responsibilities since at an extremely young age. You know what I mean? And on top of that, you know, you found such success as a wrestler at such a young age. You know, a lot of times I kind of compare you to somebody like, I mean, there's many people, but like somebody like an athlete who is like a prodigy, you know what I'm saying? Like at a young age. And, you know, sometimes a lot happens at an age a little bit too quickly. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel like that's kind of what happened with you? You know what I'm saying? Especially with WWE and all these other places that you've been at, you know, where you feel like I got all this ahead of me, but man, it is a lot. Because even grown men can't handle it sometimes.
Yeah, man.
Like, it's a crazy lifestyle.
At first, you know, I'm just going with the flow.
Yeah.
I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and you know, I'm excited. I'm getting opportunities handed to me like left and right. Not even handed to me, but I had to work for everything that I got. But I definitely feel like I got to that position in my career at a fast rate.
Yeah.
And you know, when it came to a halt, you know, when I got released from WWE, it was almost like I had to just like start over, and I didn't really know what to do, and it took me a while to like realize like, man, maybe you know, I was a little too young for everything that got thrown at me, but at the same time, I don't regret those times at all. I don't wish that I didn't go through these things. I don't wish that you know, I didn't have that experience.
Right.
Because I feel like it prepared me for so much, you know, once I did get released. So yeah, I was young. But man,
But you're doing incredible stuff now. You know
no,
what I'm saying?
of course.
I'm telling this part of the story because we're gonna get to what you're working on now, especially with the music, just being able to create and still be out there doing things that you love to do, what you're gifted at your own, you know, at your own rules. You feel me? Just being like, you know, I remember watching you. I think you won their this Ring of Honor tournament, right? I think it was in New York City.
Yeah, it was.
I think Terminal 5,
yeah.
right? And I was like, damn, I think at that time he was, what, 20 years old, 19 years old?
Yeah, I was like 19.
19 years
Not to cut
old.
you off. How old are you?
I'm 27 right now.
Okay,
yeah, because you keep saying young.
Yeah,
I know, I'm still young, so it feels weird for me to say young.
That's relatively young. I just want to know so I have perspective of like your career trajectory, just so I have a balance.
Yeah,
19.
Yeah, and when he was in WWE, we was working together. His tagline, he was the 23-year-old piece of gold. You know what I mean? Like, and it was like his joint is like he's this young prodigy, and when you see him, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know you guys aren't like as into wrestling as I am, But like when you see him, like you see like, oh shit, like this motherfucker jumps off the screen. You know what I'm saying? Like
superstar.
Yeah, like it's like watching like fucking Sonic the Hedgehog wrestle, bro. It's like, this motherfucker is so explosive. And like in a package where it's like you see him walk in and you're like, okay, like
He wrestles?
but you know, he wrestles, but like you see it, he's just like, oh, she fucking wrestles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's crazy to see, you know, when I got to be paired up with you in WWE, I was fucking excited, man. I was just like,
For perspective, when you say paired up,
all right.
you know, some of our fans are not necessarily wrestling. You know.
Okay.
So when you say paired up,
When he
what does
says
that
some of
mean?
our fans, he's talking about me.
Right, so-
What is paired up?
Talk about me and her. Like, yeah, so paired up, what do you mean?
when you join a writing team, right? Like a lot of times, especially when you're new, you know, you get, you know, certain assignments with specific talents, right? And you know, a lot of times the head writer kind of delegates it, and other times you just kind of like they like what you do, and it's like, oh, you kind of vibe with this person, whatever. And I was still relatively new. I got like a few wins under my sleeve or whatever. And then you know, they were like, hey, you're gonna run this Lashley Lio program for the next, you know, several months. So like, to preface it for like folks who don't like know how wrestling
I'll
works.
say it in music ways. When you get signed to a label, they give you an A&R, and the A&R
Right, I was the A&R.
That's
I
what
was
that is. That's what that is. That's
Lio and Lashley, right?
If you had to explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old, that's how I would like understand it.
Yeah.
All right.
So like it was so fun for me because it was the first time I really just got to like have a blank canvas with somebody, right?
Nice.
So, you know, when he came in and they kind of wanted to, you know, I knew he could wrestle his ass off, but they wanted him to be more of a manager for a little bit. I looked at him and I was like, yo, what if Floyd Mayweather was a promoter, like just a promoter, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how we packaged him, right? Like he came in talking shit like on some like young Don King stuff or whatever, but like, you know, you see Floyd Mayweather, you want to fucking punch him in the face because he's so annoying, right? Like he talks so much shit.
So he was the annoying motherfucker?
But the thing is, he's so talented.
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? Like it's like, damn, but he is 49-0. Like,
He do it. What he gotta
He's
do?
nice.
Yeah,
you
what
know
he
what I'm
gonna do?
saying?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I thought when I got to work with him, and it was so much fun, bro. Like,
So you talk a lot of shit.
a lot.
A lot.
Okay.
A lot.
That's what I gathered from this.
It was so much fun, man. Every time I think back on that moment, I can't help but to, you know, reminisce on that was literally the most fun that I've had.
Yeah.
Was working with you, working with Lashley, in WWE.
Is that your natural being, or did they bring that out of you, like the talking shit, the flame?
Oh no,
he
that's
he had it in him.
Is that who you are naturally? Like, are you that?
No. I mean, naturally, I'm a pretty quiet person. Naturally,
okay.
you know, I'm pretty like to myself, and I feel like that's where the
When people touch you?
confusion, between, you know, people thinking, okay, is he like this? Because, you know, I would be backstage, I'd be suited up,
Yeah.
I have on all the jewelry, the sunglasses, just ready to do my thing, and you know, people knowing that I'm 20, 22 years old, and you know, every opportunity I'm getting, I'm killing it. I'm you know, I don't think I messed up a promo at one time.
Nah.
So I feel like it was hard for people to, you know, look at the character, look at this loud, brash, arrogant, like type character on screen, and look at me being like kind of like quiet and reserved, like backstage. People were like, "Oh man, this motherfucker's cocky."
Yeah.
And it was
that literally only happens in professional wrestling, though, right? Like you could be so good at what you're doing that it really starts to affect how people view you in real life. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you can't. And I don't want to speak for you, but you know, sometimes like, you know, when The Rock goes home, he don't gotta be Black Adam. You know what I'm saying? That's probably a terrible comparison since he's the actual wrestler. But like, all right.
He's probably
when
Black Adam.
When Chris Evans go home, you know,
He's
he
not
don't gotta be
Captain
Captain America when he's home.
Yeah, he do.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, to
don't-
fans, he
don't
does.
take that from me.
Right? But pro wrestlers live this unique lifestyle where it's like you're this person, but you're also this person all the time.
Yeah.
You know, so when I say things like you work yourself into a shoot, it's like forgetting that. It's forgetting like, bro, this person is playing a character on TV. This is not who this person is in real life, for good or for bad. Like you said that for that situation.
And how my brain works with all of this stuff. Like, if you tell me to do something or you tell me to be somebody, I'm gonna put 100% into that, and this is why every time somebody says, "Oh, you should be an actor,"
Yeah.
I'm like,
I was just thinking that in my head.
I'm like, no, because if
You
I
can pull
land
it
a,
off.
I would like
Maybe
to
a stunt-
do a
maybe
one-off, but I
stunt
feel
work?
like I'd get too into it.
Right.
I'd get too into it. I'd be so invested in it, and
Now I
I
remember
feel like
you
it
was
would.
doing the Power Ranger stuff.
Yeah,
How's
yeah.
that experience?
It was well, actually, that opportunity kind of got stripped away from me because of my
Really?
second injury.
All right.
So yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
I had a lot going on.
What did they have you? Now I remember Tommy, the White Ranger, Green Ranger, used to come around a lot, and y'all had a good relationship.
Yeah.
So what happened? Like, what was the exact plan for you with that Power Rangers thing?
So I believe I was supposed to be one of the villains.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
supposed to be one of the villains. I was gonna have a like a small
That's a villain. coat
fighting
you got on
scene.
right now.
And
It's a
yeah.
So that's a heel coat you got on.
Yeah, so I was supposed to probably be fighting off one of the Power Rangers,
Okay.
which would have been dope. I was looking
Damn.
forward to that.
Damn, man,
Yeah,
that would have been
yeah.
hard. That would have
Yeah.
been hard. But yeah, man, like you live this sort of life where you kind of got to be both people now.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, you're creating music now. You know what I'm saying? You were creating music back then as well, but you decided to go full in. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, as a creative. What's that experience like for you, man? Because I know a lot of people who compete and entertain, like to try and dab into me. Swerve was here a few weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? He does that as well.
My God.
And I know it's a challenge.
Yeah.
But creatively, as somebody who lives in the entertainment world, like, how do you help fulfill that?
Creatively, it's I found a lot of similarities between the two, and I never forget when I
I would
asked.
say hip hop is wrestling in this.
Yeah. Wale told me a long time ago, and I was like,
yeah,
we'll see.
yeah,
But I needed to experience it for myself. You know what I mean? And I think creatively, I get a lot of fun out of like just every process, the writing,
yeah.
producing my own music videos and writing out scripts and just really like diving into
The process.
Yeah, the process. I
Yeah.
love the process.
Yeah.
And I wish that a lot of people saw the process more.
A lot of people don't.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I wish
saying?
a lot of people saw the process more.
Yeah, Low is in he's done so many things in the music industry, right? And when it comes to like, he doesn't know as much as pro wrestling as I do. So like when I try to when I say certain things to him, you know what I mean? Like that's my way of trying to be like, yo, this is how similar these two industries are, bro.
Exactly,
Like
yeah.
you think like you see me like going to like WrestleMania and being amongst like a different crowd and like working in that arena. I used to work at the Source. I used to work Hip Hop Wire, Translation, all these hip hop places, and then seamlessly transition into like doing pro wrestling shit. And it's like, well, how? It's like you be shocked how similar these careers
and I was about
are.
to ask him because when Swerve is here, he always tells us like, yo, this is a character that I play.
Yeah.
This is a character that I've built. This is a storyline, this and the third. And I look at hip hop and I look at certain artists.
Yeah.
They've built storylines. They've built their characters. And like you said, when you go home, you're not this person. And I know when certain artists go home, that shit turns off.
Yeah.
The guns in the drawer or the drugs or wherever. Jeezy leaves the cocaine in the car.
He's not bringing the bricks to Chuck E. Cheese.
So I ask you, like, how do you differentiate the process of creating a character, in the ring, as opposed to creating your story or your process in the studio? Like, how similar and how different is it? And how tough is it?
At first, I used to try my hardest to separate the two.
Okay.
And I felt like I was hitting a wall where I feel like I couldn't express how I truly felt in my music. Because I felt like I wasn't being myself 24/7. And I feel like in order with as far as wrestling, in order to truly, allow people to dive into your music, I feel like I needed to give people me, like truly like who I am. And right now it's hard because now I feel like I can't separate the two. Now I feel like I'm so into my music, and I'm so into my wrestling. It's a little more personal for me, like right
Right.
now. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I definitely feel like
it's intriguing.
It levels out that playing field. Like when people watch me wrestle, it's the same feeling as when they hear my music. And when people hear my music, it's the same feeling that they see when I wrestle. It's like the same person. And that's what I wanted. I think that's what I ultimately wanted. But I think I was afraid to put that off because, I don't know, I've never been, such like an open person.
Right.
And just the older that I got, and I wasn't always like that. I remember, I think Lillian Garcia was a person who told me in wrestling that I should let my fans in more.
Okay. You thought you were a little too guarded.
I felt like I was a little too guarded, and I feel like that's probably why my wrestling character was as good as it was, because I was so
so dedicated.
I was so dedicated to it.
So with that said, and this is the music person here. That's the wrestling guy.
Of course.
So do you?
And that's Rosie.
And that's Rosie. Do you ever fear that you may scare or push people back or push people away when your music comes out? Because like you just said, you want to be more personable. You want to bring people in. Do you feel like that might kind of be like, I don't know, hip hop is one of the most popular genres, but it's also one of the most criticized.
Yeah.
So when you interject that into the world that you love, do you fear that they don't get it? They may not understand it like how we would.
Yeah.
But then you have a father of two that lives in Kansas.
Yeah.
That is not intrigued by hip hop but loves wrestling. How do you balance that?
I don't fear that it'll push them away. I almost fear that it'll bring them closer to me. Because like I said, I at this point in my life, I don't know how to not be open and honest. And I feel like that scares me because I'm young, I have a family, I'm a pretty like to myself, like reserved person. And I do like my privacy. I do like to keep things,
close
to myself for myself. But at the same time, I understand that, these are the things that are necessary. Yeah, necessary to build that fan base, to build that audience, to have them relate to you and your story and stuff like that. So
we ain't mean to get too heavy.
No, I'm a heavy person. Yo.
I see it.
Nah, you know what it is, man? Like I
just
feel
interesting to see how y'all wired.
Yeah.
And how do you balance this shit out? And especially trying to do other things outside of your main career. So I'm always just like looking at the psyche, and I'm looking at the balance of how you do it.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been a guy who followed this form of entertainment for so long that this is really the first generation of like professional wrestlers that I can remember, of like young black, like mid-20s, mid-30s, Gen Z, grew up on social media, internet. Like it's really like the first time we could kind of see what happens in between like the TV screen. You know what I'm saying? And it's like being able to help document that, like having a guy like Swerve, Omos was here a few weeks ago. Like these are all guys that are, man, like one of the most proudest things I saw yesterday. I was watching the Wakanda Forever premiere on Instagram, seeing the New Day out there, Mercedes, Trent, like it's crazy to see just, how a culture I've loved growing up for so long is affecting people that look like me, because I've never had that.
Okay, so
and he's never had that.
All right,
you know what I'm saying? You're kind of helping build that. You feel me?
So okay,
yeah.
Swerve was on a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
right? And again, KAZ is always putting me in a position to understand more about this culture, right? I'm not too privy, but I always learn and listen. That's why I'm just like, very kind of laid back right now. But when we released Swerve episode, there was this discussion about a list.
Yes. Okay. All right. We spoke about
It was
black wrestling.
It was like top 50.
Top 50. Yeah.
First of all, I didn't even know till I met KAZ that there was black wrestlers. No bullshit.
Neither did I.
To be honest,
No bullshit.
I'm not gonna lie.
I met KAZ, I was like, oh shit, black people wrestle?
It's gotten me so many bags though, because
Bro, get the bag.
there's so many folks that really don't know there's black wrestling
didn't
until they
know
see
that.
me talk about it. So like when companies hit me up like, yo man, like we want to do this thing, but like we don't really know who to talk. I'm your guy.
There's
have you
black
talked to
wrestlers,
KAZ? Like,
and there's a Nigerian wrestler.
Yeah, even like behind the scenes too. Like there's countless companies that would hit me and be like, "Yo, we're trying to work with WWE or trying to work with AEW, and like I don't really know what it is they do over there, but I know you do. Can you help me?" Yeah. Sure.
I'll invoice you.
I'll be your guy.
You're the entry point.
Invoice me.
So Swerve, mentioned the list, and I had to really do my research. So when we released the episode and we put the clip out,
Yeah, what was the list?
It was the black wrestling top 50 list. It was basically like a list of the best black wrestlers.
Who was number one?
what was the time? Hold on. What was the time period of that?
It was from June to June, right?
Okay.
And I think number one was Bianca Belair. I want to say,
I like
who's
her.
yeah, exactly, right. Everybody loves Bianca, and
like
obviously it caused a lot of ruckus between it because of what Swerve had to say about it. They
were
privy?
in my mentions.
Oh, they was camped out for days.
Going fucking crazy.
Did Swerve not like the list?
He didn't like his placement, and he didn't really like what the list he thought represented. He probably thought like, and it's great to have you on this.
Yeah.
That's why I brought it up, because I wanted his perspective.
Right.
And I'm not trying to put you in no fire. This
Put
is
me in
me
the
trying
fire.
to understand.
I want to put him in fire. I don't even know how. Let's do it.
Think about it like this. I argue about top MCs every fucking day. I argue about top albums of the year every fucking day. So when I saw that conversation, again, the cohesiveness with hip hop and wrestling is very, very similar.
Right.
So now I'm like, oh, y'all deal with this shit just like we do.
Yeah.
So when I looked at that list, and I didn't have too much information about who these people were, but I saw how polarizing it was, and I got back to my conversations with my friends and my cohorts and this and that third. So I asked you, did you see the list?
I did not see the list.
Okay, you didn't see.
Didn't see the list.
But do you have thoughts?
Are you privy to that?
I think I saw something.
Like
I
the
saw some
discussions
kind of
about it.
uproar about
Okay.
50. This is sounding very familiar.
Yeah.
And you're asking me how I feel about there being a list.
Yeah, were you on the list?
That
I think he
I'm
was.
not sure.
I think he was, if I remember correctly.
because I'm asking, so you say you didn't see the list, but I'm asking you
Somebody Google this.
the fact
I don't got my
that there
phone.
is a list, the fact that you're a part of that culture.
There's a lot of things that I'm not used to, comprehending that I'm a part of something or that I've contributed to something so, big within our community.
Right.
Because you have.
Yeah.
I think what you're trying to say is like when you're in it, it's hard to really grasp that like
That I'm in it.
I'm in it.
I'm actually part of like this sort of like historical time of professional wrestling, especially being young and black. Right?
So much time has passed from me starting my professional wrestling career to now, but it still seems like yesterday. And it really hit me when I got released from WWE. And I started going to independent promotion locker rooms again. And I started seeing all of these like younger guys. And they were like asking me for advice and stuff. And I'm like, man.
You the OG now.
I'm like, man, I'm not used to not being the youngest person in a locker room.
Yeah.
It's still, so, I see how much the Black wrestling culture has grown since I started, and especially young Black wrestlers. You know, I remember, I mean, it was, the only other person I remember was like Swerve.
Yeah.
It was me. It was me. And then
Especially in
Swerve was the
independence.
oldest one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I, you know, I'm super grateful. I'm extremely grateful that I am a part of that list. If I am, I would assume that I am. I hope that I am.
I don't think so. I hope you awkward if you wasn't.
Yeah, I hope that I'm on the list.
See, like that's my thing. But that's my thing. Like even if he's not, like, he's a part of something bigger.
And that's the point Swerve was trying to make.
Right.
So say he's not on the list, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Swerve was trying to make the point that, yo,
Fuck the list.
how you gonna have something like this, like, and not realize what a guy like Lio Rush has contributed just because the last however month, whatever it was to him, didn't count. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know what it's going off of.
yeah,
I was
Who's-
gonna
who's
ask that
making the
next.
list?
I'm like, what's the list? Is it like a Rolling Stone list where
Well,
it's just all put together and they don't know
Nah,
why?
no, there was
See,
definitely.
it comes back to this. Yeah, it comes back to the cohesiveness of what are we judging off
So-
of?
so-
Yeah, what are we
I know
judging
they
on?
did- I know they-
Accomplishments,
I wanna know.
That's
age.
I know they did a follow-up episode off of our episode, and they like talked about like the criteria and who was number one and why. And
The people that
all
made the
this stuff.
list?
Yeah, the people who made the list. They were
okay.
definitely-
They was-
shout
they
out
was us.
Cal, all those. You know Cal.
I don't.
Cal from Complex. Used to be
Oh,
a
no,
Complex.
so yeah, Cal. My fault.
But see-
KHAL.
Yes,
yeah,
I
you know
got you.
Cal. Yeah,
So
yeah.
what was the list based off?
I don't want to butcher it, but they responded and all that stuff.
up.
But
Butcher
like,
it.
it was
Do it.
Nah, I just loved. Here's my thing. I'm on either side of it. I love both sides.
Yeah.
I loved that Swerve was so tight.
Did he?
I'm-
Take him off the
was
list?
giving niggas hell.
I love that the timeline was tight.
Timeline was
that
giving
they
me
were-
hell.
I love that they replied. I was like, yo, what a time to be alive.
Mayhem.
There is.
Bro, I had somebody tell me, you're only hip hop. Stay over there. I'm like, nigga, I didn't even say anything.
But I have
I'm
a
just trying to
question.
figure out what's going on.
So my question is, if Swerve was on the list, why was he mad?
So
I don't think, no, see, I don't think Swerve was mad. I think he was looking at different accomplishments. I think he was looking at different
I'll be honest.
attributes. That's
I'll
from
be
what
honest.
I'm getting.
I
don't think he was mad.
I truly think he didn't really like look into the criteria or really care about the criteria. I just think he saw his name, a number,
And he's
was
like, boo.
I'm good. Which is totally
Hold on,
understandable.
was he 50?
Which is, no, it wasn't 50, whatever.
And that's why he was like,
But which is totally
if you're
understandable.
competitive, bro,
And that's what I'm saying.
That's it.
At the end of the day,
That's it. Yeah,
at the
you're
end of the day, I
You wanna
cannot agree
compete.
at all. But if you a competitor, we could be talking. A list of best sweatsuit wearers could come out,
Nigga,
and if
I'm
Low
number
is
one.
3 and I'm
dope.
4, I'm like, nah, son, what you
nigga,
talking
my
about?
sweatsuits are way better than
so
hers.
Leon, let me ask you a question. Do you care if you're on the list?
I
or
really
not?
don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
We won't tell you. It's just like, yeah.
It's making me mad the longer I talk about it because here's my stance on it. It's like, man, like there's you got this list of the 50 best,
Yeah.
you know,
And
black
like you said, like
wrestlers.
you said, June and June, right?
June and June, yeah.
I'm like, it's not that many of us to
That's
begin
the
with.
thing. That's
So it's like
Isn't there like 43?
you're
so there's
you're
7 white
creating
people
a
up there.
discussion between the black community
And
and
a
now
divide, and divide.
and you're dividing all of us
Gotcha.
Yeah.
like within our own shit. It's
Sounds
like
like, no, it sounds like
it's
America.
kinda-
I can see that.
Sounds like
I
America.
don't
Sound
know.
about right?
I don't
Or
like-
white?
I don't like
Sounds about
it.
white.
I don't want to
Come on,
feel
white.
like, yo, listen, man. I think I just might be an agent of chaos, bro. Like I think I love not the division.
Kaz, let me ask
obviously,
you a question.
But I just understand that, like, yo, I don't see division. I just see passion. I just see like, yo, like, look at all these people who give a fuck about black wrestling.
Two,
This did
hold
not
on,
exist.
wait.
I didn't have this
wait.
growing up.
Two things can be true.
Right.
What you just said, true. What you just said is true,
Mm-hmm.
right? But what holds more weight? And I think, you know, you my nigga, but I think what he's saying holds more weight because
Of course.
because
He's an actual wrestler.
Right. The sector,
It's an actual athlete, Kaz.
the sector of black athletes in this genre is not big at all.
Right.
So then we debate lists all the time.
All day long.
So it's like, why are we already doing that when we just entered the
Ooh,
door?
question.
Why are we already
To me, it's like
Like,
we
am I
should
wrong
all
in
be
that?
number one. You
Yeah.
feel me? Like that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Or like if I say like I don't care if I'm 50 or 2, I believe I'm number one. But like
You should- as a
everybody should
competitor,
be.
You should.
You know what I mean? Like it's
Did they?
I don't
I get
don't
what you.
like
I
it
get
too
it.
much.
I
I don't like
I get it.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I feel like you holding back.
I am holding back.
I'm
But I
just,
get
I'm
it. But I
just,
get it.
Don't hold back.
I'm just mixing it
Just
up,
say
guys.
it.
I'm
Just say it.
I'm just stirring the pot
you
just
know
a
you
little
want
bit.
to
No,
go.
What were you about to ask?
I was gonna say, did they razzle dazzle the biracials in there too?
No, the biracial.
The biracial.
I'm sure there was some
Yeah.
biracials in there. Probably.
I'm pretty sure because they gonna be like they're black too.
I think Ricky
right?
Starks
So
is
it's like-
biracial. He's got to be biracial,
Because
right?
I said, as
Yeah,
the person who
there's
doesn't watch
just
wrestling,
very light skinned.
I didn't even know that there was black wrestlers.
Oh, yeah.
Until what, like a year or two ago?
Yeah.
So I'm like, it can't be that many.
Nah, but especially on
That's
television.
his point. But that's his point.
But so how you rank the only 50 in that
Well,
league?
but that's the thing, though.
That's his
It
point.
introduced a lot of people to folks.
Hold on,
I wasn't
want,
familiar
I want
with.
him to say
definitely.
what he wants to say. It's right there.
No.
Just say it. Just
he got a family.
I'm about to say, I ain't trying to mess up my man's bookings, bro.
I don't
I'm
think
messing up my man's
What
bookings.
is that? I don't think he was about to be like,
No.
fuck them kids. I think he was gonna say something
No,
else.
it's corporate, and we've seen it
Oh,
for
true,
the
true,
last
true,
2
true,
or
true,
3
true.
weeks.
Oh yeah.
True.
I'm just saying.
It's a very
We got to be very careful on how we put people
Yeah.
in position. So we're just giving
True.
his, fan opinion work.
Can I say
Keep that other
before-
shit away
as
from
as
my
as
nigga.
we segue out of you down to just talk shop with us,
Let's
right?
do
We can
it.
let's get out of
I'm
let's
just
get out of the
taking-
wrestling for a minute.
Oh, wow.
You took the villain jacket off?
I like that jacket.
No, that jacket is fire as fuck.
The heel
man.
coat
I
is
like that
off.
shit. That shit tough.
All right, man. Yeah, you talked about it, man. It is a watch what you say, Tom. Right now, it's been a while since we've all gotten to sit down and talk, right? And I think in the last time we were all together, man, Alex Jones, right, has to pay what over almost hundreds of $millions.
What was it, 9?
Not so a lot of money,
950? Yeah, I
a
think-
lot of
yeah,
money
yeah,
for
yeah.
Infowars and talking about Sandy Hook victims and all that. We're seeing what happened with Ye right now. You know what I mean? Like with.
Are we surprised?
I'm not surprised at all.
Okay.
Play stupid games. Play stupid games. Win stupid prizes,
Wanted
bro.
to make sure we were all on the same page there.
Play stupid games. Win stupid prizes, bro. Like my thing is, and Jake, you gotta come on here being the Jewish constituent on our show because you need one. And,
You always need one.
no. Because you need one of every friend, clearly.
Go ahead.
Multicultural friend.
What if we start calling him Token?
Token? Is it messed up to call Jake Token?
Let's just keep
It's Tolkien.
It'll be Token.
there's an L in there.
Token.
let's just keep the J word.
Jake?
Let's-
We can't say Jake.
Jake?
Let's get
Is that
keep
a
the
song?
other J word.
Stop.
Let's just-
You can say the word. God, don't be that terrified. Like,
Jake the Jew? All right, Jake the Jew.
I ain't trying to lose my Apple shit.
nah, listen. Hey, man,
Unlike
listen.
somebody else.
I have never seen black people straighten up so quickly, bro. Have you seen?
The conversation is not new.
Listen, the conversation is definitely not new. Me and Jake were talking before we fired up the microphones, and he was even hipping me to just certain perspectives that I wasn't
Right.
hip to at all, right? My whole thing is, and we'll get into a deeper discussion about that at a later time because,
We gotta watch how it unfolds.
yes, I'm still watching how this unfolds.
yeah.
But just the collective solidarity between like, hey, that's wrong to me was super cool, right? Like at the end of the day, like I love that we as a people can get together and be like, yo, that's wrong. We're stopping this by any means, which is beautiful. And I'm glad that it happened.
But
Wouldn't it be nice?
Your facial expressions are fucking hilarious.
Wouldn't it be nice if we lived in the world
he's like, thank God for KAZ.
where we can do that all the time.
Here's the problem.
Example. Give me an
Here's-
example.
No, here's
I'm
the-
not giving no examples. Y'all just we're just gonna park it right there.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Here's where the discourse is happening.
Yeah.
Every time Ye said this, that, and the third about such and such,
Right.
the world stopped, uproar.
But let's not pretend.
I want to know where it came from.
Let's not.
Hold on.
Okay.
Deals were cut, brands left, everything. The worst person in the world. But when he says these things about George Floyd, which were not true, when he says slavery is a choice, which is not true.
When he wears White Lives Matter
When
shirts.
he wears a White Lives Matter t-shirt.
Understood. That's all understood.
Nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happens. No one
wrong.
stops. No one screams. No deals are cut.
And
no money's removed.
While I can completely understand, how that's a much more nuanced conversation to have, and it's not as cut and dry and saying
because
this
terrorizing
is
your own community
That's
obviously
that.
doesn't hold that much weight.
I understand why you would say that.
Am I bugging?
I just
I
want
don't
you guys
think you're
to know
bugging.
we could
I
wear
think-
Yeezys with Nike socks and Nike Texas now. It's fair game.
I'm not
It's
wearing
fair
my-
game. I don't own a pair of
I
Yeezys.
am not wearing my Yeezys, bro.
I do not own a pair of Yeezys. I'm just
I
saying
do not
it's
want
fair
that
game
smoke
now.
at all. You see me, guys. See me. I'm checked up today. I was not playing.
Wait, did you watch the actual like what he was saying? Did you?
I
Watch
didn't watch it. I didn't get around to watching it yet, but I
Yeah.
need to.
Me either.
But by the time
It's a lot of moving pieces.
By the time
lot of
it really caught wind, Revolt already took it off YouTube. It was
they
gone.
took it off like
but-
2 or 3 days.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to rehash what was said.
We don't need
It
to.
was said to death, and obviously with the fallout, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We can all know and agree that it is the wrong thing. I'm just so fascinated by the fallout of it. You know what I mean?
In
like
what, in what sense?
Yeah,
I'm
which part?
fascinated at how I don't like it really redefined what being canceled means. Like we thought we knew what canceled was, right? And I'm not saying he's being canceled because of what he said, whatever. But like there's actual consequences now. There's actual statutes. Like the Alex Jones shit to me was so important. When it was like, this dude is clearly saying a hateful, racist, like completely batshit off the wall things about people who absolutely don't deserve it. The parents of kids who fucking got murdered in a shootout, right? The statue is there now. It's like you say stuff that is damaging to people, you will pay. Especially when you have a platform to do that to people.
And that's exactly what Kanye did
With George Floyd.
with George Floyd.
Exactly.
But it got glossed over.
I don't think it got glossed over.
It did. Niggas didn't sever ties with him because he said that.
Right.
Well, no, it's
That
because
got
he
glossed
kept.
over.
It's because he kept talking. He said that, then he said this, then he said that, then he said
He
this.
said one thing about George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
He said George Floyd died of fentanyl, not because a cop killed him.
Right.
Everybody that has 2 eyes saw
That's
him.
not what happened.
But what
That's not what happened.
But y'all don't have bigger questions like what made him say these things?
No, I don't give a fuck. I don't have a bigger question.
I want to know like what possessed
How many
you to...
times? All right, so listen. How many times are we gonna ask the question of why he's saying that?
Right.
How many times?
I'm at that point with it.
How many
with
times
it, man.
are you gonna ask why? If you're dealing with somebody and they keep cheating, how many times are you gonna ask why? Tell
You
me.
asking a woman? Because a lot.
I'm asking everybody.
No. Yeah.
I'm asking everybody.
we give a lot of chances, man.
we actually do say, bro,
I
how many
believe
times?
him.
How nice was he?
I believe him. I don't know why, guys.
man.
But I'm just trying to put in
He
that
bought
kind
that
of.
nice thing for me for my birthday. So.
He showed up. He said, "Out of my friends."
That's kind of how we. That's how we are with Kanye, all right? Aren't we the same way?
no.
How many times, yo?
But I'm asking y'all, what limit do we have?
That's what I'm answering. That's what I'm answering.
So
Like,
there's no limit.
no, I'm just saying we've
It's
seen
that
it so
toxic
many.
boyfriend.
Like that's
There's
why
no-
the fallout is so interesting to me because I've never seen like this is the first time I'm really like, damn, it really might be over for him. Like it's
Nah,
really,
yeah,
it
it's getting
really
crazy.
might be over.
It's not over because
He
But-
fucked my sister.
as long as that nigga.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's
what?
it. That's the point of no return.
That's the point of no return.
That's it. You fucked
So
with
Ye
my
fucked
friends.
this.
Man, America always wants to see a fucking.
That's the bar.
America always wants to see a train wreck.
Jake, I need you to come in here, bro.
And Kanye is Amtrak right now.
Let's get uncomfortable on the couch. The uncomfortable couch moment.
But I
want to
know what he thinks about all this. He said he didn't watch it.
He didn't watch. I don't want to put Leo in.
No, I mean I see the clips, the headlines, and stuff. I mean,
You just keep scrolling, don't you?
It's it's a lot.
You look like the type to be like.
That's what I'm saying. Every day is something new.
Yeah,
so that's why I say.
By the time this comes out, it's gonna be old.
Another 40.
He's gonna say something.
He's
else.
already back on Instagram. I'm like, well, here we go. There goes our podcast.
That's why. So to his point, that's why he'll never be canceled.
All right, Jake, our resident Jake.
Have you ever thought about your car personality? What's your vibe? Do you like the classic fully gas-powered engine? Or are you a best of both worlds type? Driving on battery power while keeping gas on reserve, just in case? Or are you more inclined to choose a convenient hybrid ride? Whichever your vibe, there's a Hyundai Tucson to match and powertrain to get you there. Hyundai's 2023 Tucson lineup pairs the tech you want with sleek and stylish designs. They paid attention to all the details, the seats, the dash, the available panoramic roof, you name it. Hyundai thought of it, all while making sure each trim has enough room to hold space for your grocery runs, festival nights, and tailgaters. Okay, Hyundai. When it comes to your journey, Hyundai is there for every mile. Visit HyundaiUSA.com to learn more about the 2023 Hyundai Tucson. The 2023 Tucson plug-in hybrid is only sold in California, Connecticut, Colorado, Maine, Massachusetts, Maryland, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Rhode Island, and Vermont.
Bro, like, don't be funny with this shit.
He's Jake.
All right.
He is
Like, just say, like, bro, I ain't
Now
playing,
introducing Jake
playing with
the
these niggas.
Jew.
Go ahead.
Jake is one of my
Like, see, like, don't do that.
Listen,
Don't do that.
listen,
Don't do
Jake.
Don't do that.
Jake is one of my favorite people on earth. He's one of my most trusted confidants.
You don't have to preface
Butters.
it. Let's go.
I'm not prefacing anything. I'm being real. I'm like, Jake is my guy, right?
Yeah.
But Jake, there's a lot of people who are just like, wow, like feel exactly like how Lowkey feels, right? Like, yo, if this happened, like when he said this, how come the response has only been this now? And we spoke a little bit about, kind of like why I thought similar, before we turned on the microphone. But like, tell them what you told me, because the way you brought it and the way you sort of like gave perspective to it really made me like, oh, okay, I didn't think of it like that.
To be fair to everyone else, the Jews don't do a great job of educating the general population.
It's not their responsibility.
It is to a
No,
certain
it's not.
extent. No, it is.
Well, it's our responsibility to explain
the
why
Holocaust is, like,
black people
relatively-
have been through certain things. Like, it's definitely our responsibility to understand why a George Floyd case is so significant. It's not an isolated incident. It's something that's been happening for a long time.
So why there's a lot of paranoia around that kind of speech is it emboldens a certain kind of confidence with a certain people. And a lot of that was around the Holocaust before, was with economic uncertainty like we're facing now.
Right.
So when people talk about Jews control this, Jews control that, it places Jews as a scapegoat for a lot of things that go wrong. So like people lose their house, people lose whatever because of economic downturn, which is happening because of a whole bunch of factors.
Right.
And then people start to attribute it to the Jews as a kind of like evil conglomerate that is all
so why don't do Chinese get that burden?
Well, yeah.
Do Indians get that burden?
This happened like literally like 70 years ago, 75 years ago, and like 6 million people were like exterminated, just Jews, and like another 5 million of blacks, gays, everything.
Right.
So I mean, it's
and you said they only make up 2% of the population in America.
Yeah, so like most people, like if you're not in New York or like in that area, most people have never really like met a Jew, or whatever. So you know, like, they're not really human.
I mean, yeah, that's and exactly when he broke it down. I'm like, I was like, that is true. I'm like, it's not as. I mean, I'm a born and bred New Yorker, right? Like hearing that, like, oh man, I've never.
Where you from? I'm from Maryland, like Maryland, D.C. area.
DMV, shout out to DMV.
PG County.
PG.
Spend some time
there.
Yeah. There's not a lot of Jewish people out there either.
No, there's not.
All right. Well, anyway, in any sense,
I would say it's up to us to hold
Who's us?
In general.
Just us as people.
Like to hold people to a higher standard. If you want to cancel them to that extent for certain kinds of other speech, the Jews are just very protected and unified and in some powerful positions, so they're able to.
Can I be honest?
Able to cut.
Can I be honest?
It's important to nip this in the bud. Like
slightly jealous.
Of
Yeah.
what?
Slightly jealous.
Of what?
There's a small part of me that's like, damn. They went like the unity.
It is the unity.
The unity was correct. Like there was no descending. Well, maybe none. Like when shit happens in our community, bro.
You see how they protect their own?
They protect their own, yo.
And then the rest of the world, when things happen to us, it's not important.
Not even though
Let's not.
it's our. I think it's our responsibility as people,
but
bro.
The Jews aren't like super
It's our
protected
responsibility
by
as
others.
people.
Come on, man.
What's up?
The Jews have had to protect themselves historically.
Well, yeah. I mean, and I think obviously, it's kind of shown that like, wow, man, like.
Thank you, Jake the Jew.
I don't. Thank you, Jake the Jew. I don't know if I've ever seen it happen to somebody that popular that quickly. That's why I'm fascinated by it.
I'm not fascinated. I'm not surprised.
I'm
fascinated by the fact that when things are said about our community or untrue things are said to our community, nothing moves and nothing shakes. Nothing is taken away. Nothing is halted. No severs are tied. None of that shit happens.
I don't think that's all the way true.
Yeah, I
people
mean,
Literally just saw it.
I mean, not to that extent is what I'm saying. That's why I say this is fascinating. Like, you can't say, like, people haven't lost their jobs for saying racist shit about black people. It has happened. Like, people have definitely lost money because they've said,
the percentage
taken off the air, fired from their jobs. Like, it has happened.
The percentage
unless
is
you work
low.
on Fox News.
The percentage is low.
I'm just saying,
The percentage is low.
the percentage is not low, bro.
hold on.
I'm just saying to the extent of what we're seeing now, no.
It's not surprising.
guys, I have another question
It's not
on another
surprising.
topic. Were you guys keeping up with that trial?
Which trial?
The guy that ran over the people at the Christmas parade. It's not funny, but he chose,
Well, you're laughing at it.
because he chose to represent himself.
Okay.
Fuck
And
Daryl
this-
Oh, to do with the hair. Oh, okay.
No, he didn't.
Fuck
He cut it off.
Okay.
Fuck Daryl Brooks. He deserved 859
No,
years.
100%.
Fuck that nigga. I don't want to talk about him.
100%.
He was very disrespectful to the judge.
That
no,
was
it's not funny.
It was funny to me, and I know it shouldn't be funny.
It's not funny.
I didn't see
That
it, so
nigga
I
killed
don't
6
know.
people. That's just
No,
not funny.
it's
I did
funny
not
that
see
he
it.
chose to represent himself and he made himself look dumber. So
Yeah.
everybody was even more glad that he got whatever he got. But
That nigga's
to me,
dumb.
it's like,
Fuck that nigga. I'm
what
glad he
makes
got
somebody like
859
him
years.
be like, yeah, I'm
He got
gonna
6
represent myself?
Yeah, you know she loved that Jeffrey Dahmer shit.
That Dahmer. I still ain't finished the
not
Dahmer.
that.
Still ain't
No.
watched that shit either.
I just think it was fucking weird that he chose to represent himself.
Do you
That's
think
what I
it's weird that kids are dressing up people are dressing up their kids as Dahmer for Halloween?
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's too much. That's a bridge too far.
I didn't even like the little girl that was dressed as a BBL.
That was like
She didn't want to do that. She didn't even know what her costume
she doesn't
was.
even know what she's wearing. Like I'm like, are you like what?
I didn't like that.
I'm sorry. I hate to like get into dad mode now. You know what I mean? But like
Do you have daughters?
I have 3
she got
boys.
yeah
Oh, 3 boys.
Yeah, 3 boys.
yeah, bruh.
That might be easier.
My whole thing is like.
Nah, not in the world we live in.
It's crazy. Like
True.
people really have kids for social media, yo. Like
Niggas
people
have
have kids.
everything
Oh, to
for
make them
social
like little
media.
props.
Yeah, like you're real. Like she's really just a little prop to you. Like what do you? She has no idea what costume she wants to be Bluey for Halloween, bro.
Yeah.
Like what are you doing?
She wants to be a cartoon
crazy.
character.
She wants to do Scooby Doo. Like what? For why? Coco Melon, something. You feel me? Like what are you
I
doing?
mean, like, bro, let's we know why. Like everyone wants to go viral.
We
Like,
do it. We see it every
it's
year.
just, like, come on, let's
We
not
see it
stop
every
being
year.
stupid. We have the same.
Huh? Ruby is going as Scooby Doo.
Nice.
We got 2 costumes. We got Ghostbusters. She's the Stay Puff Marshmallow for one, and the other one she's I think she's Velma. Yeah,
gonna be so
she's
cute.
I'm gonna be Fred. Jazz is gonna be the other lady, Fred's girl. Forgot her name. What's her name again?
Don't remember.
Not Velma. Velma's the one with the glasses.
You talking about the one with the
glasses.
purple and the blonde hair?
Yes, yeah, that's Jazz.
Don't
and
know her
then
name.
Pootie will be Scooby Doo.
Niggas went from talking about George Floyd to Halloween costumes. This is what.
Oh,
Say Less
Daphne.
is.
Yeah, Daphne.
What's up? Daphne, holy hell,
yeah,
Christ.
Daphne.
I had such a brain fart. Yes, Jazz is Daphne.
Yeah.
But yeah, all about the themed costumes for Halloween, man.
That's good.
Leo, you in town wrestling, man. You tell to me, you mentioned it about being the OG in the room now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been a while. It's been a while since you got to
27.
Yeah, like it's been a while since you got to be just back wrestling. Like you said, it's personal for you this time.
Yeah.
What's the goal now? Like, what is the main objective on this current run that you're about to embark on?
I think for me, the main goal is to almost like reestablish myself. I think the last 8 years has been a lot of trial and error.
That's life, though.
No, for sure, it is. But wrestling is so weird because some things will stick with you until the end of time.
Yeah,
Like a stain or an asterisk or. No, like I'm
nah, just
I
stuff.
like to have this discourse.
No,
Like, I'm not
yeah,
familiar with this world,
like a stain, like almost like if somebody was in WWE and they were classified as a jobber,
Yeah,
and then they go somewhere else,
yeah.
Okay.
they're still looked at as that in so many people's eyes.
I mean, okay.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense to me.
So I guess the best example to use right now is like Cody Rhodes, right? When
Cody
Rhodes
Cody
was
did a really
released-
good job at
He was released in WWE. Got to be what 10 years?
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
He hits the independents. He like goes on this incredible sort of run of independent YouTube social media success without WWE and helps launch the company that Swerve works at now, AEW. And on top of that, he leaves AEW at the top of this year to go back to WWE. And when he went to WWE, he was treated like Jesus Christ. Like he was treated like the best reestablishment of, oh, you don't think I'm a big deal? You don't think I'm a star? Watch what I'm gonna go do on my own.
So it's
So
like, it
what
was like a
happened to the company
reintroduction.
that he
Yes.
helped start?
It was a
It's
Yeah.
still running. That's where Swerve
But
works at now.
he still runs it.
Nah, he left. He left with all,
It's not fair though.
Hey, it was a very controversial thing, but
it's a business.
It was a very controversial thing, and it was the biggest story in wrestling at one point, right?
See?
Like,
Nice.
and it's like I don't know where I can compare it to as a hip hop fan, but it's almost like
I couldn't rock with that.
it's like Kendrick gets dropped from Interscope, starts TDE rises,
And then he
right?
leaves CD and
And
goes.
And then he goes and becomes like the president of Interscope. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and leaves
like,
TDE.
And
That's-
leaves TDE.
That's
Yeah,
fucked
yeah.
up.
But see, wrestling's weird.
Yeah.
Like on the outside, looking at it like that, it's like, damn, you're just gonna
You ain't
leave.
loyal. That's
You're gonna
fucked up.
leave the people that you helped build up. You gave all
crazy.
these people.
Yeah, come to death row.
On the outside looking in, but then you've worked at AEW for a while. You had a relationship with Tony, and there was certain things that happened that you talk about stains. Can we get?
Listen, we're not fucking up the house money.
I'm not messing up no
No,
house
it's,
money.
it's
We're not
okay.
fucking up the house
But is
It's
it public
okay. It's
knowledge?
okay. No, it's public knowledge.
okay, no,
It's public knowledge,
So let
right?
me- so let me go.
So when we had Khan on the show, right? Like, I told him straight up, not on this show, on Ringer show.
Yeah.
I was like, you wasn't really putting no black people in prominent positions for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, what changed? And he said how much of a priority it was for him, whatever. But one of the first big black stars
Is
that
the
they
person
got,
you're talking to black?
Tony Khan.
Yeah.
He is.
Oh, Khan. He's brown.
He's the brown. Yes, I don't want to say he's the wrong.
Khan. I don't know what kind, but I. Yeah.
Yes, he's not white. He's a minority.
Got it.
Right. So
Got
he already said he was how much of importance it was to him, and with you were one of the first big black stars, one of the first few that made the jump after WWE to go to AEW. Do you think when you were there, they were ready to be like, hey, we know there's this demographic of people we would love to really work with because WWE's kind of got it on lock right now. Long story short, do you really think they at that time they knew what to do with you as a talent?
Of course not.
Uh,
I think that was probably, and when I say things, I don't want it to sound like it's breaking news.
Right,
because
right,
I feel
right,
like these things are so like blatantly obvious.
Right. And I think more people are seeing it now.
Yeah.
And that happens with you a lot. Like,
Yeah,
something
it's like-
happens, you say it, people are like, oh man, how could you? And then a few months later, it's like,
Oh, that's why he don't want to talk a lot.
yeah, not wrong about
Yeah, it's like, you know, I mean, he made it pretty clear to me.
Verbally?
Yeah, verbally
okay.
that you know, when he was a fan of me, it was when I was in WWE, when I was doing the manager stuff with Bobby. So if that's how he saw me, that's the only light that he sees me in, then probably that's what he's gonna, you know, shift me to be in that kind of role, which I'm not, you know, I'm so grateful for that time period.
Right.
Because it taught me how to talk. It taught me how to, you know, present myself and build others up, you know, while doing what I'm trying to do. But no, I don't think exactly knew what to do with me.
Right, right.
And that's always a frustrating thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
like you said, Leo says it and it just gets fucking blown up.
Yeah.
But
Please don't do the thing, guys, when you take this part and clip out the rest
I
of the
know.
context.
Watch the whole goddamn
Put it out
interview.
there. It's like,
That's
yo,
what they're gonna do.
stay for the whole
Fuck
combo.
out of my mentions. I'm learning this as I go. This is why I'm listening to these niggas. Please, Monday morning, do not involve me in the
Oh,
list
God.
talk. You're not for the culture. Bro, I don't wrestle. I listen.
I'm not even gonna
Please
respond.
don't do that again. My phone was non.
I might not even retweet this.
Tell you.
don't retweet it.
It's-
Don't
No,
retweet
wrestling
it.
fans are crazy.
They are, yeah.
No, but
this is like your first year fully into like.
No, after WrestleMania.
After Wale Mania.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. It was.
No,
So
not doing
I
it.
got a question before we get out of here. Obviously, I'm the music head, and clearly you are too. If you can have an artist parallel to your story, your timeline, your trajectory, your progress, who would you compare yourself to within hip hop,
Man.
and why? I'll be asking.
That's a
some
deep
good-
question.
It's
I'll
a
be
deep
asking-
question. It's a
I'll be
deep
asking
question
good
because even outside of hip hop, I
Okay, all right,
still
so music in general. I'll give
well
you-
not hip hop, but
Oh,
music.
okay.
Even outside of music, I still haven't met a 27-year-old with 3 kids, married, and is done.
Mm.
You know, it's hard for me to.
What do you mean? And it's done? Is that done?
He's pretty much saying
Like,
that
man,
I've done a lot.
It's hard. It's hard for me to relate to
saying I've
to other
lived.
people my age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't.
Like, bro, you had a WrestleMania moment, dog.
Yeah.
Like, a
Yeah.
lot of people don't get a WrestleMania moment at an age.
But even
like you.
outside of that, so he don't have 3 kids. He's not.
He has
married.
1 kid and he's not married and he's
So to,
not done.
To your point, you have lived a fulfilling life that people at maybe 54 or 50 or 45 or whatever the case is reach that point. You're 27. You only lived the first quarter of your life, and you've already taken down 4 or 5 goals already.
Yeah.
So you're saying you haven't met anybody that's already hit that plateau, and you still got another 3 quarters to live.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. I say this all the time, but I can't see myself older.
Hmm.
I can't even picture it. I can't.
Well, don't say
envision-
that.
No, not in a bad way.
But I guess what I
Not
get
in
what
a
you're
bad
saying.
way.
Like,
I
he
can't.
just-
I feel like I've done so
Yeah.
much. I feel like I've done so much.
Yeah.
It's like, man, what
else.
else is there?
Right.
What else?
There's more.
There's definitely
There's a
more.
lot
Yo,
more.
personally,
There's definitely
bro,
more.
I,
There's
like
more.
just like outside looking in, man. Like I still don't think you've like hit your prime yet. Like as much as the shit
I know,
all the shit that
and
you've
that's
done
scary
already.
too.
The
That's
wild
scary.
shit is like, yo, man, like he's gonna get another run.
Yeah.
And then when he gets that other run, like he's got all this experience already behind him. He's not even 30 yet.
Yeah.
Like most folk, like pro wrestling is such a weird industry. Like their primes be like late 30s, 40s.
Yeah.
Like got like the biggest of the big dudes are in their 40s. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it's just like, man, like he's still got such a runway left over there. You
And
know
that's
what I'm saying?
scary
Like,
to me.
yeah,
I feel like
man.
when I got hurt, it almost gave me a whole new life. I hit the reset button. And, you know, thinking about everything that I've done already, it feels like in this moment, like right now, it feels like I'm literally just getting started. It feels like something is about to happen, like monumental, like in my life and my career.
And I want to say, one, I always tell him this, this is always a very, very like a masterclass in learning how you guys operate and the things you guys have been through. And what's homeboy's name that was here?
John Omos, Jordan.
Oh, man.
Jordan, his life story. Like, we're just sitting here listening, like, brain tumor, this, that, and the third, going to college, living with somebody that didn't know what they were doing. He had to live with his girl. Like, bro, that
story was crazy.
And then Swerve, like, he's been here about 4 or 5 times listening to his story and, just his accomplishments. And then you walking in here, I had no prior knowledge. He said, like, my homeboy's coming through, this, that, and the third. I'm like, all right, bet. We looked at the Instagram, bet. But hearing and understanding and then listening to what you've lived through, and you're only fucking 27, but being so big in the culture that the sector of people that look like us is small, and how the influence you have on it. So I love listening and I love asking these questions and being it parallel to hip hop, because it makes me understand what your story and what your struggle and what your progression is. 27, 3 kids, married, nigga, you already achieved life, your career goals. You already did what life is supposed to do.
Yo, I'm not gonna hold you. If I was a betting man, I think you and Lashley have unfinished business, bro. Like, I think you and Lashley have a lot of unfinished business, bro. Like, I'm just watching what Lashley's doing now, and he's at such, like, he and gosh, he's what, 40 something years old. He's like, he's just now becoming fighting Brock Lesnar in Saudi Arabia next week. Probably biggest match of his life. And it's not for no titles, nothing. Just because they have built him back up to be such a big fucking deal.
Right.
I tell him all the time how happy I am.
Oh, man, bro.
I just can't.
Do you remember
I'm
them
so
days,
happy.
bro?
Yeah, dude.
The budget.
Yeah, I'm so happy for him, man.
I don't know who the fuck that
y'all
is, but I
knew.
trust
Rosie,
Kaz, and I'm going to double up with Kaz.
Rosie, I don't know either. I'm like, my nigga,
I trust Kaz, though. So
You gotta
if Kaz
understand.
he bets money.
You
let's
gotta
bet.
understand, bro. Like, the guy, when he came in and they paired him with this dude, Bobby Lashley, who looks like a real freaking action figure. Like, he's like a black fucking G.I. Joe motherfucker. Like, just incredible.
So he was on the list.
Yes, I think he was number 2, actually. I think. If I remember correctly.
You petty.
But,
You petty.
but at the same time, like, wrestling is such a weird freaking industry that,
He's also
like,
50.
they don't really know. Like, it's hard to figure out how to, like, make that work. You know what I'm saying? For a while. And he couldn't really talk that well. Like, not that he couldn't talk well, but he would be so much enhanced with somebody who could talk. And that's what Leo's job was. It's like, yo, we're going to make this dude feel like
It's a partnership.
the biggest,
Like,
right. And it's just like, now seeing where you guys have kind of gone, man, like, and just kind of where wrestling is heading to. Like, if I was a betting man, yo, I feel like they're gonna clip this part out in like a year or two and be like, yo, remember when Kaz called this? Like, that? Like, I'm telling you, man, like, I just loved what they're doing right now ever since Hunter took charge, and, just the feeling, like, just knowing people back there, and just the feeling of like almost like a reawakening of a lot of people, folks who really gave up.
Restoring the feeling.
The feeling has been restored,
Nice.
bros, and you could tell like it's just beginning. So I'm
And
like,
and listen, like, y'all been talking this wrestling shit for about an hour and a half, and I love it. And I'm learning. But I gotta get my music shut off real quick.
all right, let's get that before we wrap up, bro. Let's
I
get
gotta
that.
my music shut off real quick. Listen, my man just put out an album last week,
Uh-oh.
right? It's Jay Jenkins, a.k.a.
Jeffrey O'Drama, drama.
a.k.a. Big Snow,
Mr. Thanksgiving, give it.
a.k.a. Jizzle, a.k.a. Snowman.
Low had the digital flyers and pom-poms
Listen,
shaking.
I'm gonna put my drink down real
Did
quick.
Low,
Hold
did
on.
Low send you the Jeezy link 2 weeks ago? Did Low,
I put it in the group chat, so yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
Low,
You was probably in Bermuda
Low
somewhere.
went back to you heard that new Low for 3 weeks.
Listen.
For Jeezy, bro.
When I caped for 2 albums this year so far.
Yeah.
First one was Pusha T,
Both
It's Almost
cocaine,
Dry.
cocaine.
Pushers. I'm your pusher.
I mean, those are two.
What?
Like what's
No,
like
you're
what
right,
type
right.
of Family Feud answer? There's 2 rappers named Pusha T and Young Jeezy. What do they have in common? Ding, ding, ding.
Cocaine. Hey.
What is cocaine, Alex?
They both been out for 20 years.
300.
They both been out for 20 years plus.
Yeah.
And I stated this, I talked about this on Apple Music earlier this week, and I said, listen, Jeezy's albums prior to have been very disappointing.
Yeah.
Very underwhelming,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I think the missing ingredients, 2 things: the producers and drama.
Yeah.
Right.
And
And
there was no pressure. There was no pressure. Like, if he dropped another
yeah,
dud,
there were no
if there
expectations.
was another dud, it'd be like, it would have been like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, yeah.
And
Last couple ones was just high too.
so
I'll pick ones I like and go on my way.
So I got the album last Tuesday before it came out, and I'm listening to it in Sahara East, and I'm just like, yo.
Yeah.
So I let it sit for one night. Came back the next night, and
Don't call it a classic.
I'm like,
Just
yo,
don't call it a
he's
classic.
about
Don't
that.
stop.
Let me
That's
go.
where he's
Don't
going.
call it a
That's where
classic,
he's
yo.
Can I
going
get
with
my
it.
shit
Do
off?
not call it a
Don't
classic.
call it a
This is-
classic.
Yo, look, this is why I don't talk music with niggas,
Don't
bro.
call it a
This is why-
classic.
I'm not. I didn't even get.
It's been out 2 minutes.
I didn't even finish. Yo,
Classic.
I didn't
Rolling
finish.
Stone
I
list
didn't
is number
finish my.
2.
I didn't finish my thought. I didn't finish my thought. All I'm saying is this: you remember when you heard TM 101? You remember when you heard Trap or Die, Can't Ban the Snowman? You remember when you heard And Then What? You remember when you heard
Low?
all these records that we know Young Jeezy for? And I said it to Drama on a phone call. Drama called me
Lowkey.
and said, keep talking that shit.
Shout out friend of the show, DJ Drama.
And I
Thank you so
said, I'm
much.
like, are you sure?
He's having such a year, bro. He's having such a
Can
run.
we talk about that?
Drama?
Can I get my shit off?
Can I say how?
No, let me
Wait,
get my shit off.
wait.
Let me get my shit off real quick. Y'all got y'all shit off? Let me get my shit off. This nigga really came back to the formula. This nigga really came back to what we know him for. This nigga really just tapped it in and gave us that shit. So again, I said this on Apple. I'm gonna say it right here.
Don't.
Shout to Drama, shout to Jeezy, shout to D Rich, shout to Don Cannon, shout to Justice League, shout to Cool and Dre, shout to all them that put the fucking food in that pot and cooked up a classic.
Oh my god.
No. Fucking shit.
Low. I'm giving you
Classic.
I'm giving you 6
A
microphones.
classic.
I'm giving you 6 microphones.
One of the best albums of 2022.
Wow.
And whoever's gonna edit this shit, I want this clip.
Wow.
Go
Wow.
ahead. All time, that's a little much.
You use the C word
Yes.
for the Jeezy?
Yep. Niggas out here saying Drake got 6 classics but can't name them. But
Drake
go ahead.
got 3.
Here we
Minimum.
go. See, Here
we know
with
we know
that.
Drake's got 3 minimum. But yo,
No class.
not mad at you. Not mad at the Jeezy takes. I was gonna ask you.
Good.
I was gonna give you a math question, but you already answered. I was gonna say if you have 6 mics and I ask you to take away a couple, how much you left? But you just jumped out the window and called it a classic. I was like, oh, okay.
But it's also subjective. Like, there's no facts to prove it a classic. But
Absolutely.
subjective. Yeah.
A low-key classic. I feel like I can name all the low-key classics.
Give me 5.
I can name you the low-key
Give me 5,
classics.
give me 5.
Okay.
Pusha T.
Pusha T.
Offer it.
It's all off. No.
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 You
I would
got
say-
to push an album
No.
up there.
Trap or Die is a low-key classic.
No, you mean TM 101.
TM101. Okay.
So
all right.
there's no Pusha T
TM101.
classic up there?
TM101.
You
Hold
lying.
on. I just want to see what he's
No,
going to say.
TM101.
That's one classic.
That's a low-key classic.
Oh, yeah, low-key classic.
American Gangster.
2 low-key
That's a low-key classic.
Good.
I want to guess.
You better throw some R&B in there, too.
Oh, I'm just going rap albums. I'm just
Oh,
going rap
okay,
albums. Yeah. Deeper than rap?
Fuck no.
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 Ooh, that screams a low-key classic.
Get
Nah,
another
not at all.
Jay-Z
That
one.
screams like a
Go.
It,
Nah,
it better be another Hove one.
Another Hove?
It better be another Hove
I
one.
was trying to get some harder ones. I know,
I'm just-
your low-key
But
Hove classics.
I just want to see how you know me.
Oh,
Go ahead. So you got 2.
yeah.
You're 2 for 2.
2 for 2. Okay.
2 for
Yeah. Gosh, I don't want to say. I want to say the album before.
This is gonna test our friendship.
It should. It should. It's the Pusha T album with Daytona on it. The last one.
No, Daytona.
That's what's called. Oh my God, I'm tripping. Yeah. All right, Daytona.
3.
All right, that's 3 low-key classics. Gosh,
I need this clip. This is a good clip. This is a great clip.
let me
right here.
see. 4. Is it?
I swear, if you miss these last 2,
Oh man,
we gonna have a
I
problem.
gotta
You
know.
got
we're gonna have a
Oh.
problem. If you miss these
I
last 2,
gotta
we're gonna have a
know.
problem.
All right, here we
Come
go.
on, bro. Come on, bro. Yo, 15 years. Don't disappoint me. Don't disappoint me. Come on, Kazeem. Don't disappoint
Yo,
me.
this is-
I'm not picking no whole record.
This is like if you and Jazz were playing a game at home.
Right.
This is
Better
like this
get
is,
it right.
This is very new.
Bro,
to
come
game,
on.
bro.
Get it right. And it's not even Hov. It's not
Okay.
even Hov. Come on, get it right.
All right, let's see.
Come on,
let's
bro.
see,
Get it
let's
right.
see,
Come
let's
on,
see,
get it right,
Come
bro.
on.
Come on.
Come on. We're thinking.
I'm not going to give you no hints.
street records.
Rap hard.
We're thinking hard boss, son,
Classic.
I know a low-key
straight
classic.
You know me.
I know a
Straight
low-key
sweatsuit.
classic.
Go ahead, go ahead.
A low-key classic is gonna have great samples. It's gonna have
Oh, God.
an epic
I swear if
intro.
you're wrong, we're... Oh, my God.
What did you
Kaz.
pick?
If you're
What's
wrong-
that?
No. Don't.
Nah.
No.
All right, it's an old. I'm not trying to go old albums.
Come on, just
okay,
come on. Just come on. Just get, come on. You 3 for 3 right now.
Okay, give me number 4.
What's it?
A fourth low-key classic.
Come on, Kaz. Come on, bro.
Hell Hath No Fury.
No.
I didn't even know you had that up. No? You weren't a Hell Hath No Fury guy?
No.
Really?
It's not a classic to me. No. So you're 3 for 4, bro.
Wow.
Like,
Okay.
fuck.
God.
Come on, yo, take it home.
I'm doing blog errors.
Come
I'm doing blog
no,
errors.
Don't just do like my rap, like my taste.
Yes,
you know my
I know
taste,
your
bro.
taste. I know your taste.
We talking 90s.
It's illegal activities. It's illegal activities. It's soulful samples.
Come on.
You know what I mean? It's balls and balls and balls.
But it's bops, it's party
You know what I'm
anthems too.
saying?
Like, come on, man. There's one that
DMX?
There's
Oh, damn, Rosie, no.
Yo,
Damn,
you're not my best friend, bro.
You're right.
You're
I
not
should
my
have
best
known as
friend.
soon as I said blog error and you said
Yo,
no.
come
That's
on.
my take.
Described it to the T.
My bad. You're
DMX
right. You're right.
is dark and hell is
The
hot.
Dark as
two
hell is
X
hot.
albums. You're right. I should have
Mace
known that.
Harlem World.
Oh.
No Way Out.
No Way Out. I give you, but Harlem World.
I like Harlem World.
Confessions of Fire.
Oh. There's no competition.
No.
Damn. Really?
About 50.
Nigga, Give Her to Die Trying.
Oh, okay. All right.
What
Those
are you
are easy. Those are no.
Nah, you're not my
no,
nigga,
no,
bro. Nah,
guys,
you're not my
guys.
nigga.
I think the criteria
Yo,
got
I
lost here.
don't know how. Yo,
We
you
weren't
ain't know-
talking rap classics.
Yo, you got 3 for 5, bro.
I wasn't talking rap classics. I was
talking
talking
about
low-key
low-key
classics.
Low
Like-
key, yeah,
I
rap.
really feel X is up there. At
X is-
50.
Nah, X is
X
definitely
was one of
there.
those.
X is definitely there.
Damn, you ain't say X.
Should
I
I
did.
try?
You're
You
right.
ain't say X.
You're right.
Dark as hell is hot.
That's crazy.
Do you know any KAZ classics?
Nah, we do that next episode.
You see how hard it is?
3 for 5, my nigga. You
Sorry.
fucked up.
Hey, man, that's a good 3-point percentage. That's 60%. That's an all-star number.
Wait, cushion orange juice.
Cushion orange juice? That's one. Easy.
Cushion orange juice. I'll give you.
I gave you a big hint earlier in the episode.
Which one?
Like, not even 10 minutes ago.
What do you say?
What?
What do you
Give us
say?
a hint.
I did give him a hint. When I said such and such has so many classics.
Oh, Take Care.
Easy.
You say
Easy.
You say he had
Easy.
3.
Easy.
All right.
Don't name. You can't name the other 3 though.
right.
That's why I didn't name on the whole
I
records. I was
got
like,
you. Reasonable doubt.
Yeah, that's there.
Y'all
I'm so
are-
basic.
Y'all so easy.
I'm so basic, right?
Basic. He said, oh, okay, yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, I just like reasonable doubt.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Fucking.
That's
You like
3.
pumpkin spice
Wu-Tang
lattes too?
and 36 Chambers.
Nah.
Wow. Okay.
Nah, man.
All right, 3 for what?
3 for 4.
3
for 4.
Okay.
You don't like 36 Chambers?
It's not a class. It's not like.
Aquemini.
Wow.
Outcast.
I'm gonna say something a little blasphemous.
No, don't do it. Just don't say it.
bro.
All right, we're done.
Nah. Go ahead.
Like we always do it this time.
Go ahead.
And
What?
I hope people understand where I'm coming from when I say
No.
this. I can understand the cultural significance of Aquemini.
As I can. Yeah.
I can understand the
I got one for you,
brilliance
bro.
of the music.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I got it.
But as a KAZ classic, when we say this
Which
is
is the
my
yeah,
classic,
the category is
it's like,
your classic.
these are the
not yes.
albums that like literally shaped how I think
got
about
you.
life.
I got you.
Like, these are like the albums that have like defined my life.
Polarized, shifted, maneuvered. Yes. Okay. So no, it's not
Aquemini
there.
is not that for me.
All right. So I'm 3 for. All right. So I got one more.
You got one more.
Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah.
That's not the Kendrick album I'd go with.
What?
Damn.
Pimp a Butterfly.
From a butterfly.
That's the one I'd
That's
go
the
with.
least popular.
Really?
Out of like from the conversation and narrative about Kendrick,
Huh.
that is the least
I'm
popular
going
album.
good.
I love it.
I'm
It's
going
so
Kid Mad
jazzy.
City.
No, but that's the least.
Like,
and we'll talk about that later.
You can
but
put that
that's-
album on and clean your house.
That's
You
the
can put on
least.
Good
I
Kid
got a
Mad City
bone
to
to
clean your
pick.
house.
Nah, you go rob somebody with that album.
I'm also cleaning my house to it.
You robbing somebody in Good Kid, Mad
I'm
City.
not. I'm cleaning my house.
Are you mad?
Bitch, don't kill my vibe.
Come on, son. That song had one of the greatest rap songs ever created.
So wait,
I'm 3
if
for
you
5.
had, hold on, if you had a
You're 3 for
list
6.
of 5
I
albums
don't
for
know this nigga
yourself,
like
Yeah,
that.
what's
So I
the-
can't.
no, I'm asking him to
What's
just
the
tell
Lio
us
Rush
his.
classics, yo? What's the Lio Rush classics?
See, when you're talking about classics, because I'm
For
okay.
you, though.
They classics
Classics.
to you. Let me do that again. It's a classic to you.
See, okay.
Not
Be
the
mindful.
Rolling
Hold on, let me do it again.
Be
Go ahead.
mindful.
Okay, we listening.
I'm born in '94.
Okay, that's understood.
Oh.
That's
Okay.
understood.
That's fine. That's
That's
fine.
so
okay.
That's
He
fine.
about to have Lil Uzi. I like Lil Uzi.
No. I wouldn't even have Uzi.
I like Uzi up there. Hold on.
And plus,
Of
my
course you do.
all y'all from New York?
I'm from Jersey.
Yeah,
New Jersey,
yeah.
New
New York,
York.
New Jersey. Now.
Half and half.
Ain't no
Okay.
nigga, you from North Carolina. Go ahead.
Don't think too hard about it.
I don't wanna
These are
think too
your
hard.
songs. These
Yeah.
are your albums.
So
Anytime somebody cross their legs, it's like it's about to get serious. Anytime somebody do this, it's like, all right, here we go.
I wanna put Take Care on there.
Okay.
I wanna put Take Care on
Got you.
there.
Got you.
This must be a wrestling thing. Got it.
Take
No,
care
wait.
of fire.
it's a rap thing.
No,
Take care of fire.
Takes.
if I don't put a Wiz in there,
Okay.
then I'm not
I got two Wiz classics.
Being true to yourself.
Wiz doesn't have a classic album.
But this is his list.
real.
We talking about albums. We're not
This is
talking
his
about.
album list.
Can I tell you the Wiz album that is my favorite?
My fault.
My fault.
No, continue on. My fault.
ONIFC. I love that album. Go ahead.
That's not an album. That's
Yeah, it's an album.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
You're wrong.
love
It's
that
his
album.
album list.
I feel like talking about albums that like
Define
shake.
me, shape my life.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I gotta put Paper Planes.
Okay.
Not mad at you.
That works.
Not mad at you. Not mad at you.
That's 3.
That's 3.
It's the other 2.
I love these debates.
I know, because it really like you saw that Twitter.
You start to see.
You see that Twitter question floating? It's
Look,
like,
watch this,
what's a random
watch
thing
this.
that you
From
learned
what I
about
learned-
somebody
so, look,
that can tell all about them?
So what
This
I've
is
learned
it.
from him, when you got released,
Yeah.
right? When you was injured, what was something you was just listening to?
That's a great question.
What was I listening to?
Like,
I
what
was
was
more.
something that got you through
That's
all
a
of this
great
besides
question.
like your family?
That's a great question.
I'm a writer for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like listening to a lot of things. I mean,
You read.
I
Okay.
I like reading. I like writing.
Mm-hmm.
Was it thoughts and experiences or
Thoughts, experiences,
Okay. progression?
Progression for sure. Progression because I'm still growing. I'm still learning.
Mm-hmm.
Now y'all making me want because
Because you was listening to me. You
We-
lied
we-
to
we
me.
tend- we tend
You
to-
lied to me because you was listening to music in between.
I feel like
so I was writing an album.
I was about to
If
say, I feel
being
like
hon-
Leo wants to say, I was listening to my own shit.
Yeah, no, for real.
I'm sorry.
For real.
Who did I listen to?
I was in the
to get through my
studio.
stuff?
Me.
I was in the studio.
Dylan.
I'm telling you.
Wait,
I learned how to track myself during that time.
That's
I
what's up.
was listening to my own shit.
As you should.
Wait,
As you should.
let's let him finish his
Leo,
classic
Leo,
list.
You know what else is
Hold on. Let him finish his
All right,
classic
you
list.
got two more. You
I got two more.
Don't think too hard. Just
Can I want to say this is pretty new, but I feel like it really hit me when I heard it.
Okay.
It's the Luke
Go ahead
classic.
and
It's the
say it.
Luke
Don't
classic.
pause.
It's the
Don't
Luke
go ahead and
classic.
say
It's the
it.
Luke classic. Go ahead. It's your
oh
classic.
my god, I feel like we can
No,
we
no.
know what it
Results
is.
take time.
Okay.
That's
Who's that?
I don't know who's that from.
That's Simba.
Oh, from
the drama tape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Simba.
Yeah.
That tape is magnificent, and I feel like he deserves a lot more praise and a lot more.
Oh, he's
flowers
getting there
because
I think he's on that.
Yeah, he's not
Yeah.
the traditional hip hop. I think he's from San Francisco. bro, like the melodies,
That's a
like the
great project.
tone.
I fuck with how he just talk. He just
He talks.
he just be talking.
Nah, yeah,
So
Simba.
was
I
it Flex when he was on Flex a couple weeks back? and
Oh
just-
my god, the way he tormented Flex
I was
and
like,
then
yeah.
went into his shit. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you one of them ones.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
you got one more.
Mm.
Damn, Simba was a great pick.
Yeah, we got to get him on the show, man. I'm a fan.
Yeah, Simba.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll call drama.
Man, this is a hard one.
There's no right or wrong answer.
You know my
It's your list. It's your
It is.
world.
Hey, let him drop that bomb.
Because
Because I feel like this is going to be controversial. I feel like this is going to be the wild card.
Okay.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
I bet you won't do it.
Why can't I remember the name of it though? But
Who's the artist?
Jaden Smith.
Oh, the one with the letters?
Wow.
It's like S-Y.
Sire.
Yeah.
The
oh,
first-
icon on it.
That album
The
was
first-
fire.
Icon.
Yeah.
And every album, every title was like a letter. Like, no,
Yeah.
this was fire.
I told
Yeah.
you this
That was
was
a
going to
fire
be
album.
the wild card.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm-
was very shocked at that album.
So, okay.
I like
And I was
that.
like, Jaden.
I do like that. So,
Can rap.
from your perspective,
Yeah.
Let's clip this also, Jay.
yeah, this is gonna be one. From your perspective,
Yeah.
why is that Jaden Smith
That was a good
album
album.
a classic, or why is it so?
Why is it a
important to
Leo
you?
classic?
Why is
Because
it
he was
important
so
to you?
young and but so like
Okay.
I could
Intellectual.
Already
yeah,
did it, already.
intellectual.
He
I
just know
could
how to, yeah.
yeah.
He is-
that
he's a-
was fascinating to me. It was
So you
He's
feel like there's a
also-
parallel to you?
yeah.
Yeah. Of
Yeah.
how young you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that. I
Yeah.
can definitely. I can see the inspiration. Definitely. Like Jaden Smith is, like I'm like at least 10 years older than this motherfucker. And even I look at him like,
No, when that album came out,
Yo, you get it.
it's like, yo, this dude is like this dude is way more mature than I am. Like,
when that album came out, I was like, Jesus.
I was like, how old is this kid? Like,
Out of
Way
every-
better rapper than his father. Sorry, Swole.
I'll tell you this: if I had the money and influence that he had at that age, I wouldn't care about like getting clean water for the environment. Like, I wouldn't care about like all this. I'm like, this dude is like, like,
But
how
out
many
of-
of us would act the way he did?
Out of every pick, I do appreciate that one.
Yeah,
Because I think as we're talking about KAZ classic, Low classic, Lou classic, I think because of what you've been through and I think the things you've experienced,
Yeah.
I think that's the more parallel thing to your life and to
Yeah,
your
for sure.
trajectory. So I do appreciate that one.
I think you might appreciate this.
Uh-oh.
Honorable mention?
Okay.
No, I wanna tell my story.
Okay.
And because I feel like I really haven't gotten the chance to talk about what I went through,
yeah.
you know,
Are you
Yeah,
within
talk
these
about
9
that.
Are
months.
you
You know
about
what
to
I mean?
freestyle?
Bro, let him get his shit off. Go ahead.
That's what I thought was gonna happen.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It was summer days. It was back to back. 2 shoulders, I was pinned, I was on the mat. Signed a deal, I was on the map. It was up and it stuck, yeah, I wanted that. Fell in love with the money, I was feeling that. And the drugs gave me hugs when I needed that. I was on a fast road, but I swerved and I crashed and I hit something bad like, oh no. I was holding on like a chokehold. I was not found, I was so cold. I was heating shit up, I was so bold. I gotta do it now cause my soul froze. I am 1-on-1. Couldn't let it back then cause I knew my time would come. I can lap around the game, this shit is fun. Drowning out the noise, please tell me when it's done. Trying to get employed but my heart's not in it. Play me like a toy, I had dark nights in it. Black hole, know you know how that go. Thought I end on that note, but I hit a high note and I kept getting higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. The things in my past, I really do admire. The things I desire,
Yeah.
this time I'm moving fast, but I'm moving with a choir.
Oh, is that all?
It was so,
When did you write that?
But also,
This
that's
is-
crazy.
this
Like,
is-
I can hear it.
Let him go.
Wait.
this is something that's been on my mind for so long because I feel like I never really got an opportunity to showcase my passion for what I do outside of wrestling.
Mm.
And I feel like I can only only do but so much inside of the ring to make people feel what I feel. You know what I mean?
See, this is why I asked you that question earlier. When you create music, do you feel like you have to scale back? Because I feel like now what you just did,
Yeah.
I don't feel like you can do that, not necessarily in the ring, but in that environment. You saw how comfortable you felt just doing that, and you said, you looked at me, you was like, yo, I got something for you.
That was fire. I ain't gonna hold you. That was I was like, is this happening?
No, I appreciate it.
I was like, oh
I
shit,
asked
he is.
jokingly, you about to freestyle?
No, same. I was like,
And
what?
But that's why I asked you.
Yeah.
Does it
That was incredible, by the way.
Yeah, that was
Fire.
dope.
But does it scale back how you create because of an audience like us? We get that. Every bar.
Yeah.
Higher, higher, higher. I know what that meant.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? The Dark Knight toy. I know what that meant.
Yeah.
Somebody from Missouri, right? So does that distort your creativity?
No, I don't think it distorts it. I think
Or your output.
maybe because I feel like maybe sometimes I'm dealing with an audience, like you said, like I'm dealing with an audience that might not.
But have you ever looked at it like, and this is the problem that I'm having with you saying that, like, he can get fans that are just music fans, not just wrestling fans.
No, yeah.
Because he's good
And
at
that's
what
the
he
goal.
does.
Yeah.
He could get like, I could hear him on SoundCloud or something, I don't know, just an example, and not know he's a wrestler.
Right.
You feel me? So he could get other fans that are not just fans of his.
I understand that, but
character.
I understand that, but what I'm saying to you is, because we understand, the paradigm of music, we understand lingo and language and dialect and tone. There are a lot of people who watch wrestling don't necessarily understand the pain, the strife, the struggle, the progression, the frustration.
Okay. So I see where you're going.
That's why I asked him.
But have you been to like a Travis Scott or like a concert where nobody in there makes sense?
Right. But they
It
don't
does not
get,
make sense, and I know they're not
alright,
getting it.
But they don't get what he's talking about.
But
and
they
Travis
still
don't
just might
talk like
his flow.
that.
So he's gonna gain a whole new audience.
Travis don't talk like that.
I think you're gonna get a whole new audience.
I think
That's all I'm
he
saying.
already has, bro. I think Leo, man. Like I said, when I said you haven't hit your prime yet, it wasn't just ring stuff. I'm just like, man, like the dude is talented. He has an audience. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a big enough self-sustaining audience where it's like, bro, you're good already. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I said, like,
it's good, and
whatever
it's only gonna get bigger.
Whatever
you
you're
feel me?
doing right
So,
now is good.
Leo,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad you pulled up. I'm so glad you spit for us. Is that the first?
Nah, love
Freestyle
that.
and say less?
Bro, nigga, look at
Oh, make it over.
Nah, I love that.
Even if you can't, you gotta freestyle.
I was like, you ain't coming unless you drop a 16 again.
My man looked at me and
Bars.
was like, yo, I got something for you.
Come
I'm like,
with
oh,
bars.
shit. I'm like, oh, shit.
Nah,
This
because
nigga
we were talking about, like people that just like talk. I like MCs or like artists that just make you feel something by just talking. Like I grew up writing poetry, so that's how I like to tackle my writing process. But
I think her question led you into that.
Yeah.
Because she was like, when you got injured, like, what were you doing?
Yeah,
Or
what was you
who you
thinking
were listening
about?
to.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
once you were like, well, I was writing.
Yeah.
And I think that set off like
Yeah.
a green light, like, yo,
Yeah.
y'all two are.
Yeah,
All right, I got
because
something
when
for
you're
y'all.
going through something, you have to find a way that makes you feel comfortable to cope with that.
Yeah.
And for everyone is different. His is probably watching wrestling. I
play 2K.
Play 2K. Or play something that, because since you work, you got to do stuff that
I
makes you
gotta do
not think
something to
about
just
work.
turn my brain off.
Or just look at his daughter.
Yeah, that too.
You know what I mean?
But hey, man, when Ruby go to sleep, this is me and my ma player, bro. Me and my ma
Hey,
career,
I need a
dog.
PlayStation. Also,
Hallelujah.
yours is probably,
What?
I don't know what the fuck they'll do when he...
Why is hookah?
Hookah. Just hookah. Mind blank. Hookah.
Man,
No, like honestly, like when I'm going through something, like when I just need like a cleanse, I gotta think. Like I'll just go by myself and just sit. I'm like, all right, what we gotta do? Whatever the problem is, or who I'm arguing with, or work shit, I just gotta sit. Just give me a minute to sit and think, and just let me just figure out the odds and the evens and this, that, and the third. Like we all have our shit, we all have our vices, this, that, and the third. Like his is writing, yours is your daughter. I'm
My
sure.
daughter's not a vice.
No, I'm sorry. No, vice was the wrong word. But your escape. I'm sorry.
Your therapy.
Your therapy, your escape, your clothes, whatever. I'm sorry.
Neither of that either.
So your daughter's not your escape?
Nah, like, that is my everything, bro.
That's his
it is
comfort zone.
Thank you. I guess that's the word.
All right, so
Gotcha.
how I'm trying to phrase it is like maybe MSG.
I guess your center, whatever centers you.
Yeah, I'm saying like if MSG pissed you off, if we pissed you off, or whoever pissed you off, you go home to that comfort zone.
Yeah.
That center. So yeah, not escape vice.
All right.
Wrong. I apologize.
I
apologize.
I'm like, you will learn. He's gonna learn one day. I'm like, oh, you think that's an escape?
My fault.
You shall see, sir.
Wait. Before we get out of here, I have one more question that I ask every
funny as shit.
fighter that comes here. I ask them this question every time. Have you ever been tested outside the ring?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good question.
Even on a night out.
I
'Cause to
feel
be
like
fair,
every day
if I
I'm
saw
tested.
you, I didn't think you was a fighter.
Like physically.
Like you ever been tested like somebody and you're like, bro, I really do this. I'm not gonna do this to you.
So
Yes.
yes. I was trying to buy a book bag.
Uh-huh.
And
where?
Don't say all.
I was trying to buy a book bag,
That's so cute.
and this guy would not move from my viewpoint.
Now,
And
was
I
he a
asked him,
fan or
no,
not?
not a fan. But I mean, people being a shorter guy, I just get tested all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
And people don't realize he's like, even though he's a professional wrestler, like he amateur wrestled also. Like it's
But that's
you
what
know,
I'm asking, yeah.
it's real
yeah,
shit.
I was an All-American, so sometimes I'll be feeling.
Like Aljamain was short.
Yeah, Aljamain, Mighty Mouse was here all the time.
Oh,
Like,
he
Yeah,
was.
we got
he
all
was
like the
short.
bantamweights that have like come through. So like Rosie always sees like, yo, anybody ever test you? Because
Yeah,
like
who tested you?
when you
The
come here just
average
like a
eye,
regular
we're not gonna
dude.
know that you
Yeah.
fight.
But you know, like
Yeah.
yeah,
People
these
think
people
they're
will
tough guys.
As a shorter man, you're at a disadvantage already.
Yeah, for sure.
Allegedly.
But they don't know.
Allegedly.
So what did this book bag man do?
Go ahead.
He just wouldn't move, bro. He just would not move.
His eye
He didn't give a
twitching, shit
fuck
moved.
if I was asking him politely or not. But it was definitely about to get to a point where I was gonna jack him up and
please
move
move,
him.
sir.
Yeah.
asked you nicely.
He gave me one of these too.
Like disrespectful.
Like yeah.
This motherfucker. All right.
Bro, imagine
Yeah.
a short
Right.
motherfucker whooping
Yeah.
your ass when you trying to buy a backpack.
Oh, I see it all the time. It's my favorite content,
But
bro.
like really whooping your ass.
Like busting your
My
ass.
favorite content on the internet is people getting what's coming to them. Like somebody, you fucking with somebody, that long, like, okay, you think you just fuck, boom!
I saw that in like a bar fight one time where
Yeah.
somebody was testing this white guy. He had cowboy boots on, but he was like a fighter.
Yeah,
And he fucked everybody in that bathroom up. Like one at a time, like three of them.
yeah.
I did get tested at a Denny's one time, but
That sound about right. Waffle
I
House, Denny's.
had Heelys on. I know.
Time out.
I know.
Bro, I want to make so many
I
jokes
know.
right now, but I ain't trying to get my ass
I
whooped.
know.
I respect it though. At one
Listen.
point, Heelys was it. I'll feel you.
What year was this?
But
This-
whooping somebody's ass in Heelys.
Last year.
What year was this?
This was 2016. 2016.
Please tell me what happened.
I was running towards
grip.
the guy. Yes. Running towards the guy, and I got quickly reminded I had wheels on the bottom of my shoes.
Wait. So you
Now, did you use it to your advantage?
I did not.
Wait. So you ran towards the guy. Did you like, you know how Usher did
you
it in the
skate?
club? And did you skate towards him?
Just one foot hit the skate. And I was like, oh shit, maybe I should not be doing this right now. So
Yo, he was like, what was that commercial?
Dog, not for nothing. If this was on camera and somebody getting their ass whooping Heelys on, just they saw that shit.
It's
Man.
not the fact that it's Heelys. It's the fact that he skated with one
yeah.
At a Denny's.
at a Denny's.
I knew
At a
that was
Denny's.
enough.
Bro, if it
So
was
you've never had to like fight somebody outside? like on some like just because they tested you?
I mean, high school, but
Yeah. After
I mean, because
that-
like now you're like
Because now people are older.
no.
and we think
Also
about shit.
now, like your hands and like you're
Lethal.
like legally these are like weapons almost.
yeah.
So it's like you can't really get into it. With
And it ain't worth
Yeah.
your freedom, your money.
Yeah, it's not.
So you got kids and shit. Like,
Yeah, beautiful
like
family,
anytime
yeah.
like I see like grown men fighting, I'm like, man, I hope it was worth it, bro. Because you got to be pushed to a certain point to be like, man, fuck this.
Any of your kids wrestle?
Any of my kids wrestle? Oh no, they're too young. 10, 4, and 1.
But 10 is about the age where it's like,
Man,
Yeah.
I want to say that.
let
Yeah.
them boys play basketball, play in the grad. Like, bro, let them boys.
Yeah.
Y'all kids gotta go outside. Like, get them off the tablets. Like, let them go outside, play hide and seek, and
But wrestling is a
manhunt.
sport. They can do that.
Yeah, nah, bro. Like, let them kids grow up and be who they want to be. Like, you know what I
Man.
mean? Gotta let the kids grow up.
Leo, any last things you wanna head off with us before
Yo,
we,
sorry
before we
for the
head out of
random
here, man?
conversation.
No, it's all
it's a
good.
random
Yeah,
show.
that's what we do.
It's
a
all
random
good.
show.
It's all good, man. But no, I'm just grateful to be able to do what I'm doing right now because there was definitely a point where I just didn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
I'm glad that I'm back out there. I'm glad that I'm wrestling. I'm glad that I'm making the music that I want to make. I'm glad that I'm glad to be living.
Yeah.
So it's
Especially now.
no, for sure.
My brother, it's good to see you happy. It's good to see you healthy. It's good to see you doing what you want to do, man. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy to see you doing what you're doing. And like I said before, I still think the best is yet to come when it comes to you, man. So thank you for pulling up to say less.
And no,
Kaz,
not to cut you off.
for the non-wrestling fans, where can we watch you? Because I wouldn't know. Like what days?
Yeah, you well, depending on when this airs,
Yeah,
you
this
can
will
watch
drop
me.
Monday. This will drop
You can
Monday.
Y'all
Monday?
gotta tell
Yeah,
me
let's
when
try
to watch something because wrestling, I just be
Yeah.
okay, got it.
yeah, you can. I mean, I'm all over the place right now. I'm wrestling for GCW, PWG,
Streets
MCW,
are saying- The
MLW.
streets are saying GCW is about to be
What does that mean?
on Peacock.
Yeah,
That's what streets
Yeah.
are saying.
Yeah.
Why is this mean
WD,
pink? All right, never
That
mind.
means
Like it's
Peacock?
absorbing it. Like the rumor is. Well, I don't want to put you on the spot because I don't know. But what I'm hearing is WWE and GCW might have a
Copy.
working relationship.
Whatever the
coming soon,
case
but
is,
we'll
bro.
see.
One, thank you for always exposing me to this culture, so
Anytime,
I understand
man.
Us.
who he is. Two, thank you for actually, exposing your story, your experience, and your other side of what you're doing, what you're passionate about. So I do hope and I do pray that you can elevate that career as high as what you're doing right now with wrestling. And if I can help you in any way, let me know.
And that's the
Reach
man
out.
to know.
Yeah.
Apple Music.
most definitely.
But yeah, I had no idea what your story was, and I like coming in blindsided, and I like listening to stories, and I like asking questions. I like making the parallel to my life and my career to your shit. So I do appreciate you for being so open and exposing yourself, and I do hope that this next chapter in your life brings you just as much joy as you got in your first part. And just met you today, but I'm proud of you. So,
Appreciate you.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you,
All
guys.
right.
Hell
My
yeah.
guy, Lio Rush. Appreciate you coming through. My guy, Jake, as always. Thank you as always,
Jake
Rosie.
the Jew.
Yeah, you're an episode away from theme music. Right? Next time you come on,
It's like when Paul Mooney asked a black man,
Yeah.
Jake the Jew.
ask a Jew guy.
Ask a Jew.
I'm not trying to get this episode taken down. I'm not trying to get this episode
Oh my
taken down.
gosh! If anything, we should know.
Thank you so much for coming. This is
Thank you.
great.
Appreciate that,
Sure.
man. You can catch me on MSG PM starting November 2nd and doing MSG Betcast as the Knicks take on the Hawks and several other games coming as well. You can also catch me on Inside the Lines, FanDuel Inside the Lines at MSG Networks. And I will be on The Bump on November 2nd, I think, for, no, not even November 2nd, for the Crown Jewel pre-show, and November something, I'll be on there and doing other WWE stuff. And catch me on The Ringer, Masked Man Show. And I think that's it for today, man. But, oh my goodness, please subscribe to patreon.com/sayless. Also,
Almost forgot.
donate. Almost forgot.
We got a couple of. I mean, shit. We might chop this up and throw some of those on there.
We
but
still got our episode.
We got an episode we're gonna load up. You know, it'll probably be loaded up by the time they hear this. So make sure
Just
you
like
support.
it was me and you and Mandy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/say less. Make sure you listen to Say Less Daily. We're probably gonna start putting that behind the paywall as well eventually. And you know, appreciate everybody who's tapping in with us, man. Like it's a community that I love talking to every day. And when I see you in the streets, you guys are so nice to me and so thoughtful and say very sweet things. So I appreciate y'all. And
oftentimes thinks you're a football player that you're not.
This is true. This is very true. I'm not Kayvon Thibodeau if you see me in Madison Square Garden. But anyway, you know what it is. This is KAZ. Like we always do at this time. Stay free.
Yes.
Stay safe.
Yes.
And always say less. We'll see you next week, people.
Shouts to the shark.